I was offered this shift at a pumpkin farm, $50 an hour for 4 hours.
So I'm here working on a pumpkin farm in Queensland Air, Australia, and these are my coworkers, all fellow backpackers from all parts of the world. I am the only one here from North America. Everybody else here is from Europe.
We picked 20 tons of pumpkins. We completed this task in about 4 hours. I was in pain due to the taxing physical labor, which is normal because it was essentially a workout. My muscles were in pain because I'm not used to walking this amount and bending the amount of times I've bent in this shift. I was wary quite often due to the reality that perhaps I could be bitten by a brown snake because we are in Australia and we are in Queensland, the most snake-infested part of Australia. After work, we drove about 20 minutes to our hostel, which is a working hostel and where they help you find work and you can socialize with like-minded people, fellow young backpackers. The Australian government considers you a young backpacker if you're a young person if you're between the ages of 18 and 35 because the visa is meant for young people. And you might think 34, 35 is young. Well, in comparison to the average lifespan of about 82 years old, 35 is relatively young even in your early 30s. So it was a pretty cool day, and then eventually I went back to the hostel and we chilled and they made Mexican food.
So this is a British man and he's making his version of Mexican food. They had tacos earlier and the only Mexican here is me. And these guys are far from Mexican nationals and they apparently love and enjoy Mexican food. That looks kind of like Taco Bell Mexican food. Because it has Doritos. He put a bunch of Doritos on that.
Sorry.
It's alright. I fucking love Taco Bell. I used to eat there like 5 days out of the week.
It is the best.
Yeah, even when I lived in Mexico, I was like, I miss Taco Bell.
Bakersfield was a really terrible city. Sure, it's in California, but it's just not a good city. People rarely smile there, and it's just like living in the north of Ireland during the fucking 70s and 80s. Bakersfield was like a war zone.
We're just going to work. Another day in Australia. 10 years ago, I never thought I would ever fucking live here. Now I live here. There's crocodiles in that river.
I'm surprised at how outback like this part of Queensland appears to be. But obviously the outback looks different, but for me personally, I've never been to the outback. I assume that the parts of the outback that have vegetation are kind of like this. But this is pretty cool. Just another day in Australia, in the state of Queensland, a great nation. Just another day, and then this is us leaving work. I'm not going to film on a work site. I then went to KFC with my roommates Hannah and Flem.
So I am at KFC with my roommates here, and we are going to eat KFC.
So I spent $10 for this tiny little meal that just had two things, popcorn chicken and a slider, and there was so little food on it, but it's not like I need more food. I'm a fat fuck. Now I am. Fucking 2 years ago I weighed like 165. Actually, that was a year ago. So I can't believe that there was so little food on it. For $10, for $5 in Bakersfield, California, I get so much more food. It's crazy how the portion sizes here in Australia are so tiny. It's just tiny.
So I woke up, I was watching some YouTube videos. It's my day off. I'm gonna be going to my bank, the National Australian Bank, so I can take some money out. Just another day in the air. I worked for 2 days on this one farm. This past Tuesday, Wednesday, and it was some fucking hard work. It could have been a Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, it was Wednesday and Thursday where I worked this farm. It was really hard work, and it was well worth it. Good exercise, made some good money. I was making $28 and something cents an hour. And in less than one shift working, that pays for like a whole week's work worth of rent. Because out here in Australia, you pay rent weekly. Strange, but in a way it might be fair for people that manage their money terribly, and you only get paid bi-weekly, and you might spend your money. What if you get paid on the third, and then later on, like a handful of days before the 31st or 30th of the month, you might squander your money, you might spend it on. There's that specialty Indian cuisine restaurant. Maybe it's the only Indian restaurant in Ayr. So far I like Ayr. There's not really much to do except, you know, eat and drink alcohol, but I don't drink alcohol. Like, it's super rare for me not to drink alcohol, like super rare. The last time I got seriously messed up was fucking like 6 years ago. And I noticed that when I used to drink, it was harder to save. I remember the first years that I stopped drinking, I would save an insane amount of money. I was saving like $2,000 a month. And because, you know, if you're not drinking, then the next day, if your work calls you in, and they're like, hey, you want to work? We need one. You can go and make them 8 hours worth of money. And I did that. I was working up to 80-something hours a week back in California. I was sometimes working 7 days straight, up to like fucking 2 months without stopping. Those were the days. But as I got older, I got tired, or out of shape. 24-hour laundry. This is a cool thing about area. You wouldn't expect it, but there's a 24-hour laundry place here. And it's such a tiny little town. I wonder why. Oh, maybe because of all the hostels that are here. Motels. Maybe. So a lot of the backpackers are privileged in the sense that they have the ability to save a few $1,000s USD to come here, which is like an entire year's wage for a lot of countries, or most countries. And most of us come from countries with a strong economy, powerful passport, and we all speak English. Most people on earth don't speak English. So we have the ability to move out here to a country with a really strong economy, stronger than a lot of other countries, in the sense that, you know, sure, China has a GDP that's like maybe 18 times more than Australia, but they also have like fucking, I don't know how many times, like, okay, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe 40 times more people. So the average person in China, they make like $1,000 a month. But that's the average, that's not the median. The median is way less. And here in Australia, the average person makes like, what, $70,000 a year? Maybe $6,000 a month? That's way higher. Here is the Woolworths. They have a tobacconist and vape. Like in the US, like grocery stores, they sell alcohol, they sell tobacco products. But here in Australia, to get your alcohol and tobacco products, you gotta go to stores that are catered only for tobacco or alcohol. And the same thing with medication, quite often. I see that there's a body on the ground here in Bakersfield, California. There's cops everywhere. There's a fucking body on the ground. Just another day in Gotham City. I see that there's a body on the ground here in Bakersfield, California. There's cops everywhere. There's a fucking body on the ground.
Just another day in Gotham City. I saw another body. This time I had a camera that I was able to record with. Bakersfield is Gotham City. There's dead bodies everywhere. You hear about bodies being found pretty much every day in this fucking godforsaken town. This is not a safe city. Never move to Bakersfield. That fucking Bakersfield realtor is not gonna show you Bakersfield. It's not gonna tell you what I tell you. I will show you the real Bakersfield. This city was rated as having the worst drivers of any city in the whole fucking country. I will often go to sleep and I'll hear sirens of first responders near Panama Lane pretty much every fucking night. This is not a safe city. You shouldn't ever have your kids walk these streets of Bakersfield. And if you're in a vehicle, it's better for you to have a humongous vehicle that's safe. Drive a Cybertruck.
Many Mexicans that can afford to go to the United States for a better life do so. And many Americans who want a less stressful life and they want a better life in their retirement go to Mexico for a better life. One moves to Mexico to live like a king, and one moves to the US to live like a king in comparison to how they were living in Mexico.
So, after watching YouTube videos and cooking and eating for hours, literally I spent about 2 hours cooking, but that's because at first the water wasn't boiling for like half an hour, and I didn't realize it wasn't boiling. Then I fucking ate some brunch, and then I decided to cook some more food for tomorrow. And now I'm heading out. It's fucking sunny. The UV light is raping my skin, and it's really, really hot here. The heat down here in Queensland, Australia, is really, really strong. The sun is really strong. It's not as hot as Bakersfield, but what is stronger here is the UV light. The UV light just fucking rapes the skin. It like fucking brutally just rapes the skin. You just feel like you're being destroyed. Your skin is like just being penetrated by the devil, because it's so fucking powerful, man. It's a different burning heat. Like you feel like your skin's actually being burnt, even though it's not as hot as Bakersfield weather. Childhoods in Bakersfield can be very uncomfortable. And one of my subscribers was telling me that she had just an awful childhood in Bakersfield. Well, she lived there for a few years, but it was hell. And she was dealing with her Bakersfield mother. Bakersfield mothers are pieces of shits quite often. Not always, but a lot of them are. And, well, basically, it seems like childhoods at Bakersfield seem to be very, 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 very awful. And in a way, being a teenager in Bakersfield can be more awful. Being a teenager in Bakersfield is not good. It feels like you're being destroyed sexually. It feels like your life is getting lost. Bakersfield is the worst city on the planet, man. It's just a ruiner of dreams, ruiners of hope. It's a ruiner of experiences. Bakersfield is just a terrible city, man. It sucks so bad that it pushed me to Australia. Now I'm on Australia. So 2 years ago, I uploaded a bunch of videos talking about how dangerous and criminal Delano is, how fucking really violent that city is, that the city is plagued with violent crime. And instead of people telling me, yeah, it's true, we gotta work on that problem out here in Delano, instead of that, as to prove my point, I just started to get death threats and just threats to just hurt me, jump me, etc. So as to prove my point, that's like calling out somebody a rapist, and them saying, "Don't call me that, or I'm gonna fucking rape you." That's how Delano people are, and something that hasn't happened before. A Delano person apologized to me. They told me I apologized on behalf of Delano people and your bad experiences with Delano people. So this also proves another point, that some Delano people are good people, even though they have a lot of bad people. Delano is a fucking jungle of aggressive, violent pieces of shit. So a lot of you misjudged me via my old ass videos on my old channel, saying, I hope this guy doesn't own any guns because he appears to be really angry all the time. Well, I was in character in most of my videos, and I did own a lot of guns, man. I owned like 6 or 7 guns. And I just uploaded some pictures of me holding 2 of my, 3 of my guns. I had a pistol in one of my hands, another rifle, and a shotgun up next to me, holding me with my fucking elbow shoulders. So I used to own a lot of guns. I used to sleep next to a 40 caliber pistol, a 12 gauge shotgun underneath my bed, along with a high caliber rifle underneath my bed, a rifle in my closet, knives everywhere that I would plant, guns everywhere. Like in my apartment, it was a small apartment, but I was no more than like maybe 2 meters away from a gun in my apartment or a weapon. A lot of you guys used to threaten me, so I thought it was a smart thing to have weapons all over my house for my own protection. But the people that mostly threatened me were people that were from Delano and people from, East Bakersfield, Cottonwood, and Butthurt. People from West Bakersfield, like this racist, aggressive Mason. He said his name was David or some shit like that. He threatened me, which is in itself a felony because I haven't ever threatened anybody on my channel. So all these people that are talking shit about me, these people have threatened me, or they're doing worse than me. Like this guy was saying, "Oh, you're probably too broke to leave Bakersfield. You can't get laid." Bitch, I just hooked up with a girl from Sweden not too long ago. I've been traveling throughout one of the most depressing countries for the past 4 months. And I'm planning on going to Japan, going to South Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand, maybe going back to Mexico, maybe going to Argentina, maybe doing 3 to 6 months in Eastern Europe, maybe going back to North Africa. I was gonna go to Israel next year, but, well, kind of dangerous now since fucking Israel. Oh my God. I laugh because I can't believe this has happened more than once. Like, I was gonna go to Ukraine literally in the year when the war started, when fucking Putin invaded. And instead of going to fucking Ukraine and other parts of that world, I was gonna also go to Moldova. I stayed to Western Europe. I stayed in France and Germany. What a sad thing. And now Israel is under attack. I can't go to Israel. I was looking forward to it. And I knew I was talking to a guy. I told him like a month ago, it was an Israeli guy. He's a subscriber of mine, and he's also a friend of mine. I told him that the only, like in Israel, the threat to me while I'm there will probably be the Palestinians, because those guys are fucking killing innocent people. Those guys are just fucking murdering savages. The Israelis are fine. The Israelis are not gonna kill them. The Israelis are peaceful people. I can't say the same for the Palestinians, those fucking cunts. And I was correct. They've invaded. Those fucking assholes. Now I can't go to Israel. I can't go to Ukraine anytime soon. God damn, man. And it's not for financial purposes. I could fly there. I can easily fly there. I can go on the next plane there and go directly there, if there's direct flights offered by the fucking planes here. But odds are, like, most likely it's gonna be connecting flights. But I can still go there. Like, I can easily like leave tomorrow and head off on a journey via plane to Ukraine or Israel. Maybe not Ukraine. I don't think nobody's acceptable to Ukraine. But Israel, I'm pretty sure that I can fly there, unless they've stopped all planes from flying. But I'm far from the person that a lot of you guys, my haters, think that I am. I'm actually pretty chill. Now, if you are unintelligent, you're incapable of thinking about, if you're incapable of complex cognitive thinking, that's it. Well, we might not get along. That's the beach right there. This is not Bakersfield. I think Omni is basically in the shower and singing his Japanese love music. So about maybe a year ago, I temporarily changed one of my YouTube channels into living in Bakersfield, and living in Bakersfield, California. And I just checked that Bakersfield Realtor changed their name to Living in Bakersfield. That's fucking strange. We just got out of the pub and they're all really drunk right now, except me. Just another day in Australia. You guys are being recorded right now. So this Irishman right here, he's leaving along with Omni. Omni is gonna go to Early Beach, Cairns, and he's going back to Japan. And this Irish dude I don't know where the fuck he's going.
I'm going to Early Beach,
And
Cairns, Townsville, Brizzy, Noosa.
oh,
whole
true.
shebang.
Noosa. I've never been to Noosa. But I think out of the ones you just named, I think Cairns might be my favorite. But only if you're doing day tours.
Yeah, we're just getting the crocodiles up there.
True, yeah, there's a bunch of crocodiles.
We're doing the pubs. We're doing the pubs.
Yeah, I've done that a long time ago, 5 years ago. It was really fun. I almost died. Yeah. You should do Uncle Brian's tours, or like literally all of them when you're in Cairns, if you can afford it. It's the best fucking tours you'll ever take in Australia.
Uncle Brian's.
Yeah, I took them all, dude. I spent like $500 doing all of them.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I was like, oh, homie, what's up? And he's like, I dropped my fried rice. And then a security guard had to escort us to our bedroom. And it's literally the equivalent of here to that second bedroom there. Like right across the fucking drain. Felt like such retards. And then we came back like a week later and he was working security at a bar. He's like, I recognize you boys. I'm like, oh, what? He goes, yeah, I helped you get back to your room the other night. You remember me? I was like, oh, I do. Yeah, I'll just get back to her bedroom. What helped Obi?
Man, you guys must have been extremely drunk for him to remember you out of all the drunks he goes with.
Yeah. We were like in the hostel at like a ditch, like stuck like this, and he came and walked us. And we were pretty fucked.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was very in danger.
Yeah, he was in danger.
He didn't help me.
I did
He was
help
talking to his girlfriend.
Oh,
I called him loud, really. Alex, help me! Alex, help me! But
good
he was
times.
talking to his girlfriend on his phone. and
Yeah.
He didn't help me.
I did.
If there was water in the drain,
You
I
would
could
have
have
deserved
joined in the water.
that. That would have
Wow.
been your fault, though.
Uh-huh.
That would have been your fault.
No, you.
You shouldn't have walked in a drain right in front of you.
I was drunk.
You literally went like
No.
this.
Beyond the river, there was.
Yeah.
I was only seeing the
The
door
bedroom.
of the.
Yeah, because beyond the drain, you can see our bedroom door. And instead of walking across the bridge, we tried to walk through the river and just walk straight into it.
Yeah, there was nothing.
No.
Just rolling down to the drain.
And he dropped his fried rice.
I couldn't stand up myself.
No.
No.
And I woke up so hungover the next day, and the person came in, you know like the person who runs the hostel. Omi stole my bed sheets. So I woke up fucking freezing, and the person comes in and is like, who's moving out today? I'm like, I am. She was like, past
Yeah,
checkout
in the
time.
morning.
I was like, fuck.
Wow, you must have felt awful.
Yeah, I was so cold, and then, you know, one who runs like the hostels, she knocked on the door, she's like, who's checking out today? And I was like, oh, we are. And she goes, you just gotta check out now. Like, yeah, you've overstayed your check. And I was like, for fuck's sake.
Fuck. Wow.
In the morning, he woke up saying, with innocent face, "Homie, I'm freezing."
I was so cold.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, surprising. A lot of hostels are really, really freezing.
Yeah, it was really cold. It was Queensland. Like, it was warm during there, and then it's just because it's really warm outside. So then you wake up and the room's already air conditioned.
Yeah.
So because it's so air conditioned, even though sheesh, you wake up, you're oh,
Yeah.
it's so cold.
I know. I even thought about, like, even though it's hot here in Bowen, I've thought about buying a freaking blanket from Kmart because it's
Yeah,
cold here sometimes.
Yeah. It's just the air conditioning.
Yeah, it's the air
It's
conditioning.
because you have the aircon on, so it gets pretty fucking nippy.
Yeah, but I'd rather have an AC than no AC in the room.
Huh?
I'd rather have an AC in the room than no AC in the
Oh,
room.
yeah,
But they work a little bit too well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I think
sure,
I'm
sure.
cold as it can go.
Yes.
So cool.
So Omni, are you looking forward to going back to Japan? No, that's a no.
Somehow.
Like, yeah, somewhat.
I miss my friends and family. But
Yeah.
I also want to stay here longer.
Well, you can. I mean, the 88 days, but you want to build your life already. I mean, you've had your party at a time, like you probably already partied enough.
More like
He's got a couple more party days left.
Oh, true.
yeah, actually,
He's,
yeah.
he's got some more left.
More
But
party.
probably it will be the biggest one.
In Japan?
No, in here with him.
Yeah.
Oh, in Cairns maybe.
Yeah, Cairns.
In Cairns, you're getting fucking crazy.
We're gonna go Gilligan's, I think.
Gilligan's is the craziest place I've
I
ever
reckon
seen
we're
or
gonna
ever been at.
Gilligan's and wake up horribly hungover and then hop on a Greyhound bus down to Townsville.
Magnetic Island, yeah.
Magnetic Island down to Noosa and shit.
Townsville is very slow, but Magnetic Island is like the best part.
Yeah. With Townsville, it's just a bit of just a pick-up point for the car.
Oh,
Pick
okay.
up the car in Townsville and then
Yeah, you might like Townsville.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Magnetic's kind of what we want to do.
Right, and if you go to Cairns, you should go to the Botanical Garden. It's basically a rainforest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trails around Cairns. I've been to most of them. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Give it a
Yeah.
shot anyway about that. Give it a waddy.
This guy is really, really wasted, he seems.
He's tired. He's a tired man. Holly, you can go to bed.
Go to bed.
You go to bed.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Bonne nuit, boys. Anything.
Bonne nuit, les amis.
Bonne nuit, les gars.
All right, later.
Joshua, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
If I don't see you around,
All right.
have a good one.
Just
I might
fo-
see you for one anyway.
Oh, okay, and if not, you can just follow our adventures on YouTube because I'm going to keep on filming.
What's it called?
Josh from Bakersfield.
Josh from Lakesmith. Noted.
Omni knows it, I think.
Have a good one, lad.
Later. Here in Australia, they have merchandise just outside of the store. You can't do this in freaking California, especially San Francisco and Oakland. This is crazy. In the US, all this stuff would have been taken by people. Australia is something else. There's more trust. I guess the difference between the US and Australia. They can just leave stuff outside. At around 12:30 p.m., I started driving towards Prospera in Queensland, Australia, to speak to an employer about a certain job at a farm. It's a seafood farm, seafood warehouse, shed, etc. Not only do they grow the seafood there, but they also pack it and they distribute it. So, you saw my YouTube channel? Yeah, I heard. I wasn't sure that you where that was my channel, but I'm like one of the few YouTubers. Yeah, I'm like the only YouTuber in Bowen, I think. So this is one of the guys that was working here in Bowen. He's leaving. He's going back to his home country of Vanuatu. We came out here to this place called Prosperin. That's how I pronounce it, but they pronounce it differently. It's the owners of the place where I'm staying at. They took me to a job interview that they set up for me, and now we're here at the airport. It's a tiny little airport in Queensland, Australia. He's gonna fly to Brisbane, and then from Brisbane he's gonna fly to Vanuatu. But it's pretty cool. This is a pretty cool life that I'm living. It's just like a dream come true. So this is the Whitsundays here, this picture, and I've never been there, but I live close to it. I live on the south end of Whitsundays in Bowen, but it's pretty cool. One day I'm gonna go here, maybe in like 5-6 months, maybe less, I don't know. So that's me. I've never seen myself on such a big screen. Josh from Bakersfield. So they're interacting with me, maybe? I don't know. As soon as I got into frame, they started showing up. This is pretty interesting. This is pretty cool. Huh. Man, I love Australia. It's much better than the United States of America in some ways. This is the other part of frickin' the airport. This is like the most Australian looking airport ever. It's a small little airport surrounded by like this Australian vegetation. So today my frickin' landlord told me, so we're gonna drop you, we're gonna take you to the interview or whatnot, whatever it's called. And I think they get a bonus, and also they do benefit, like, because if they get me a job, I stay here for months and months, and they keep more money of rent. I calculated I'm probably going to pay them over the course of the next 5 to 6 months about $4,000 in rent, which is a good investment on their part to take me out here, because they're going to get rent money from me. And then they were like, we're gonna go on a road trip to Prospera, and now I'm gonna be, I've seen a large part of Australia now in this part of the Whitsundays area. Prospera, I think it's part of the Whitsundays area. And I'm at this airport and I'm gonna go to Osurbo, but at least I got to explore a new part of Australia today. Man, it smells really good right now. That smell of the airport. I think it's something that's put in the air and in the carpets. I love it. I love traveling, even though it can get boring. There's layovers sometimes. You have to wait for hours sometimes at the airport, and then sometimes the flight may be boring, but I still love it. It's fucking awesome. We stopped by here in the Servo to get some brunch, or at least for me, brunch. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. So I got a Red Bull sugar-free and a sandwich here. The people of Australia are much nicer, as I've said before. I'm not as stressed out. The people here are not as dangerous, aggressive, violent, and criminal as the people of Bakersfield and Delano. I'm at peace here. I can go to places without the fear that someone's gonna go behind me and stab me, fucking hit me in the back of the head, or shoot me. Australia's much better. The people are much more civilized than the people of Bakersfield. So, I ate dinner, potatoes with sweet chili. Now I'm going out for a walk. I want to go on a long walk on the beach. There's Bowen's Backpackers, where I call home. And I'm just gonna make my way to the farthest I feel like walking. Just another day in Australia. Just another day in Australia. I just came for a walk. I want to go all the way down there. See what's all the way down that part of the beach. Gonna make my way all the way down there. I've never been all the way down there. I've actually walked out there to the sand once when the tide was out. It looks so scenic here. Much more scenic than anything we have in Bakersfield. This looks beautiful, man. I live over there. I'm gonna walk over there. I've never been to this area. I see that there's a cross there. Maybe somebody died near here. Maybe they drowned. Maybe a long ass time ago somebody got attacked by a croc. Statistically speaking, more people drown in Australia than actually die from croc attacks. Just another day in Australia. I'm working right now. I just woke up, heading to work. Then after work, I'm gonna go for a freaking doctor's appointment to be able to work somewhere else. Arriving to work. Today will be a short day. We're only working like 7.5 hours or 7 hours. I just came to Airlie Beach for a drug test for my job. They want one out of all of us new employees. They're also gonna give us a medical just to make sure they're good. Sausage King, sausage, Havana, bacon, pretty cool. Whitsundays. It's another day in my life in Australia. Just another day in Australia. We're gonna come here to the Hungry Jack's. Burger Kings in Australia, and they have 100% Australian beef burgers.